Hey guys, welcome to the Hollywood Raw YouTube page. Make sure you drop a comment, like, subscribe,
do all the fun things.
follow
everything. We're here to entertain you guys.
What are you waiting for? Hurry up, let's go.
Enjoy. All right, welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. It is time for our Raw rundown. Time to get you caught up on all things entertainment news. Make sure you go into the weekend feeling like you know everything that happened this week. So we're going to go down, do the top 10 stories, the most important stories. Well, it's really not the most important story.
I would say, if this is what you're dedicating your life to, I think you should recheck your priorities. I just took a cold shower. I'm wearing a button down for this because I am ready for this, Dax. What are
you look pretty fancy today. I mean, if anyone's watching this on YouTube right now, you look pretty fancy.
It's so funny. I'm more dressed up now than when we have interviews with Suzanne Summers. That's going to be all over the news. So I don't know. I think I need to recheck my priorities. But these are the top 10.
No. I have one question.
Yeah.
You look very professional, but are you wearing pants?
No, absolutely not. I'm wearing fucking underwear. I just got out of the shower. I just threw on a shirt, and now I'm just.
So good.
All right. These are the top 10 stories on the Google search. And let's start for number 10 down to number 1. Dax, what is number 10?
Number 10. All right, this one's weird. However, so are you a big metaverse kind of person? Do you spend time in VR chat by chance?
I do not, but I'm very aware of what's going on with the metaverse and the people investing in it. People like Paris Hilton are trying to buy real estate. Snoop Dogg has real estate. So I am very aware of what's going on in the metaverse right now. However, I have no personal investments there, and I'm not spending my time in metaverse chats.
So inside the VR chat, this is a group chat that it's a group experience, and at any given time, there's like 20,000 people. Concurrently?
Yeah,
I think that's the word, concurrently, on the site at any given time. I mean, it is super popular, and now you can get arrested in the metaverse, and there is a whole group of people. They are considering themselves the LDP, and they are police officers roaming through these VR chat rooms, arresting people. But it's kind of more of like you're role playing, and I guess it's very entertaining for other people in these chat rooms. But people are taking it super serious. They're arresting people. They're doing investigations. They're taking eyewitness reports, like the whole thing, and really enjoying themselves. There's 11,000 people a part of this LDP.
That's great. That sounds fun. Wait, you know what? It's all going to go downhill once they put their hands on someone's neck and they put their knees on someone's face.
Dude, so that's the thing. So not only do you have people being like police officers that are, arresting and trying to keep peace, then you've got other police officers in this thing that are planting drugs on people and evidence.
That's fun. Listen, that's great.
That's crazy.
Honestly, that sounds like a hobby I would probably get into.
Yeah,
that seems interesting. I mean,
so that's our number 10. There are now arrests being made in virtual reality. Okay, number 9, Sydney Sweeney. You know her from Euphoria. I feel like she has just been everywhere right now. Everyone's talking about her. Her and Kendall Jenner are now redheads. Have you seen these photos?
I have not.
So they both went here. I actually have it on my phone. Let me show it to you because I didn't have it downloaded into our system because I'm a loser. But let's see. Here it is. Check this out. And if you guys have not seen the photos, head on over to our Instagram page. We'll post the photos up on our Instagram page. So Kendall Jenner, now a redhead. I am not complaining.
I am. I'm not a fan.
No,
it's fun. It's fun for the metaverse. But listen, I don't think it's not gonna be there for. It's fun for a month. After a month, it's like, okay, back to
Are you just a big fan of her with dark hair? Is that what it comes down to?
Sweeney. I think she's better as a blonde. I think the red hair is just a little awkward.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Kendall.
Well,
My bad.
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Okay.
They're natural, what they usually do.
Yeah. And my daughter has the most beautiful red hair. So when I look around, I'm like, oh, this doesn't even this hair is not as pretty. My daughter has the most gorgeous red hair. So it takes a really good red hair dye to really impress me. All right. Number 8. This story got a lot of attention this week, but the director from Black Panther, his name is Ryan Coogler. He was arrested back in January, and I guess more of the information is coming out now, for someone mistook him and thought he was robbing a bank when he was actually at the he was withdrawing
It's
$10,000.
insane, the video. You have to see the video to this, and it's a lot. So tell me more about this. Explain more of the story because there's a
Okay.
lot to it.
So yeah, so he was at a Bank of America, all right? He went to go withdraw $10,000, and because it was such a large amount, I guess the teller got, like, suspicious, and I guess there was a note also on, like, the withdrawal slip that said, "Can you make this discreet because of the size? Like, I don't wanna walk out of here with a wad of $10,000, like, super obvious because I don't wanna be robbed the second I walk out the door," and put that note. So all things combined, and he is black, so if this was a white man, you know that that wouldn't have happened, and so I think this is, like, full discrimination, racial profiling, the whole thing here, and I think B of A is horrified that this came out because the guy's a rich black man. Like, you shouldn't just assume, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like, I think there's a lot of things in this situation that are so bad on B of A, and they're burying their head in the sand. Ryan did come out and say, "Look, we've chatted. They've made good." So I'm assuming they've paid a fair share of money towards Ryan to get this whole thing to go away.
Yeah, that's a wild story.
But he was like, oh, another thing, he was detained by police, and then he had outside there was a car and it had a couple guys in it, like his buddies. They were waiting for him, so they assumed that was like a getaway car when it was just his buds. I mean, the whole situation. I'm just shaking my head, being like, "Wow, that teller." I'm gonna go down and say that teller needs to get some sensitivity training. How about that?
Exactly. There's going to be a huge email going out through all the Bank of America employees. That's a crazy story. The video is pretty rough, and listen, I wonder how it got settled. I don't know if we'll ever figure out how much or how it was settled. Might have been a nice donation.
Oh, we're not gonna find out, but it's probably a fat check
Yeah, because it was put out quick.
because could you think like this is bad, especially this day and age. Like you can't be just assuming someone's robbing a bank. You know what I'm saying? Like there's this it's bad.
It's bad. All right, on to the next one.
All right, number 7, Chloe Cherry. You also know her from Euphoria. Apparently, she came up with all of Faye's one-liners in Euphoria. Again, I don't watch the shows, but this has been a big, big deal online that she was the mastermind behind all these one-liners.
I mean, that's not uncommon. Larry David, there's a lot of improv in shows. Judd Apatow
Mhm.
allows a lot of improv in his movies. I think that's props to her, but also props to the director for giving her that sort of freedom, but also shows in the show of her kind of being fun and just kind of in the moment. So, yeah.
So I'm gonna break in another number 7, 7.5 here,
Okay.
just because I'm not a big Euphoria fan. Yeah, I know that's horrible to say right now when Euphoria is the biggest show out there. However, Dua Lipa and Meg The Stallion have released a new music video today, and it's blowing up. It's called Sweetest Pie, the but it's really, you got to watch the music video because the graphics are insane. There's wiggling butts in the background the whole time.
Yeah.
It's
Wait,
amazing.
dude, are you a Dua Lipa fan? Are you in the Dua Lipa train?
Okay, I am a big Dua Lipa fan. I'm not sure I'm into this song, at least not yet.
Okay.
'Cause sometimes it takes me a couple times listening to a song before I really get into it. My first listen on it didn't really catch my attention, but the music video caught my
Dua
attention.
Lipa, I think she's so pretty, and she's just got so much charisma and so much like I don't know. She's just very appealing to watch. Like I get her,
Mhm.
and she's one of those people. I don't know. I wish again, like the Lady Gaga said in a previous episode to our podcast. I wish I kind of stuck with her in the beginning a little bit. I didn't think she was going to have this.
Well, I feel the same way about Meg The Stallion. Like, she is someone that, like, you just can't take your eyes off, and I feel like the 2 of them teaming up, like, they knew what they were doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, these 2 women are, like, some of the biggest artists out there, and they're like, "How can we become bigger? Let's work together."
Yeah,
Like, it's such a smart move on their part.
sure. All right. What's the next one?
Yeah. Alright, sorry, that was my 7.5. Let's get to number 6, Elon Musk and Grimes. For some reason, I had thought that they broke up.
I think we all thought they broke up, and now
So I
apparently they
totally
had a
thought.
baby with a surrogate. Is it?
Yeah, they had another baby, and, so they were doing, I guess Grimes was doing a Vanity Fair interview, had the reporter over to her house, and they were sitting there talking, and I guess there was like sounds of baby crying upstairs, and the reporter's like, "Wait, do you have another baby?" And she was like, "Oh, I can't talk about things like this." And yeah, they had another secret baby. This time a baby girl. The first one was a baby boy. The one that's named like the crazy. It's like
Yeah,
XAI
something that
Archangel or
reacts to a
something, an X for short. Well, this baby's name, baby girl, is Y. I don't know what Y is short for, but it's Y.
interesting people. Interesting
They
people.
really are. They are
They're,
fascinating. I love Elon though.
he's,
He's so
he's a
he's
man.
so crazy.
Interesting
Anyway.
people.
All right, so that secret babies all around. We got another secret baby coming up in a couple moments here.
Uh,
Number 5, Will Ferrell crashing the Warriors warm up, which he was dressed as Jackie Moon from Semi Pro. He comes out and was out on the court right before the game, and it was a hilarious video. If you haven't seen it, go Google it. We obviously can't play it right here. We get slapped with a big old lawsuit, but go check it out if you're a Will Ferrell fan. I think you'll love it. Are you a Will
I'm a
Ferrell kind
huge
of
Will
guy?
Ferrell fan, and I think he does this so randomly. Like he's done, like
Hmm.
he dressed as a security guy for the Staples Center when it was the Staples Center, and did security for a Lakers game before. And he doesn't do too much. He does it like these kind of goofs every now and then, and they go over really well. And I'll give props to Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors for giving him permission to do that because, again, they're in the NBA. This is a business to them. This is every game's a big game, and they still allowed him to kind of play with the team before the game and not
Well,
get out of the moment.
yeah, and the thing is, they needed this because the Warriors have had kind of like a bunch of losses all in a row. He comes out, kind of is messing around, having a good time, and then they beat the Clippers that night. So it actually worked in their favor.
Yeah, I listen. Props to them to allowing something like that to happen before a game when, again, they have to be game ready. But Will Ferrell's just funny, having fun. I almost wish he just went as a warrior, not as Jackie Moon, because of all the Will Ferrell movies, I wasn't a big fan of that one.
You know what I'd love if he went out as the drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers one day. Like they just switched him and he
Kevin Smith.
walked out onto stage and just pretended to be him.
Yeah, they never.
Because they look identical.
They've done stuff on Fallon like that before, but you're right. Like I would love to do more of that because they do look exactly the same. But
They are full twins, man. Anyway, good. I love those moments. I think it's fun. I think the crowd went crazy. You could hear all the screaming in the background. Okay, number 4. Oh, this is a good one. Amanda Bynes. She is back on social media, dude.
is that a good thing?
What? It's okay. So yes and no because she is also wrapped up in a conservatorship, just like Brittany was for many many years. Uh, Amanda is coming back to social media because she is saying, "Hey, I've got a court date coming up. I would hope that everyone would support me." I think this is kind of she's seeing the moment as, "Hey, right now, a lot of people are focused on conservatorships, ending conservatorships. The world's kind of got all eyes on it, and she wants to end hers after 9 years." So listen. I don't know. We haven't seen as much of Amanda Bynes as we've seen of Brittany over the last couple years. She's got a couple of videos that she's posted on social media. She is getting her face tattoo, that heart removed off of her face, which I think is like I don't want to say face tattoos are a bad idea, but they're a bad idea. And I would say,
Yeah.
but I do feel that when she got the face tattoo, I was so shocked, and I thought something's really wrong here. So to see her now get to the point where she's like, that was a bad idea. I'm going to remove this from my face. I do think that there must be some true healing going on and centering of
So I
herself.
got a real quick Amanda Bynes story. I don't. I think this could be kind of interesting and fun. Do you remember when Amanda Bynes um, threw a bong out the window?
Yeah, yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember that story?
Like yeah, yeah,
It was a
totally.
big
Like,
story.
out of
And
her
Amanda
what was it, her
Bynes was
apartment or something like
living in
that?
New York City. She was living in Midtown, and she had this. The cops came to her apartment. She threw a bong out the window, and obviously at the time it's sort of illegal. The cops like, "What was that? You threw drug paraphernalia out the window." And when people like Amanda Bynes or Lindsay Lohan came to New York, it was the craziest thing. I knew I couldn't sleep because you knew at that point something was going to go down, and it always did. I remember getting waking up 4 in the morning. Lindsay Lohan gets arrested outside a nightclub. Anyway, Amanda Bynes throws the bong at the window, and I had to stay outside her hotel for like a week. I'm sorry, outside her apartment for a week. It was me, a colleague of mine, and like six other reporters, and we pretty
You
much
just waiting for her to
waiting
come out or
outside
what?
for to see if she'd come out because it's a news story. It was a big news story. We want to see if she's there. And after the fourth day, we're like, why? No one's seen her, but we're still just sitting there, just playing in lawn chairs, like waiting to see her. Because again, we're covering this news story. It was a big deal at the time. Finally, me and my colleague were just like, if she threw a bong out the window, did they ever find the bong? Like, where was the bong? So she lived right next door to a theater, where because she lived like in the Broadway area. So as we're sitting there, kind of talking to like the other journalists and stuff like that, me and my colleague, we knock on the door of the theater next door. Security guy opens the door, and we run inside the room. And the journalists saw what we did, and they're like, "Oh!" And they all of a sudden they try to rush over to run with us into the theater. We closed the door. The security guy of the theater is like, "What the fuck you guys doing?" I go, "Listen, you can't let those guys in. We're journalists. We need to check your roof." The guy's like, "What?" We're like, "Yes, we need to." The guy's like scared. He's like, "We need to check your roof." Finally, the guy's like, "Okay." He locks the door so the other guys can't get in. We go onto the roof, and we're looking around the roof, and we see this glass item that
It was
appears.
blue,
It
right?
was blue. Yes.
I remember the
Yeah, and
photos.
we're like, we think this is a bong. Like, there's no way to prove it because it could have been an old bottle that kind of was a beer bottle that was thrown off or something like that. Like, we didn't know. But we're like, this has got to be the bong. So rather than touch it, we took the photos. We called the police, and the police didn't do their due diligence. They didn't. You think she threw a bong out the window, looked to find the bong. No bullshit. Within 10 minutes, probably about 7 cop cars raced over to the scene because they knew they screwed up and they knew what was going on. They raced over like it was a SWAT team. The other journalists are all pissed off at us because like, what the fuck did you guys do? You just made us look like assholes, and we didn't touch it. And then like again, they couldn't. It was a few days after the incident, so they
Yeah.
couldn't tell if it was a bong or not. There was not going to do like fingerprints or anything, but it became a really big story. I remember how pissed off the police were, how pissed off the other journalists were, but we made the story.
That's awesome. No, I literally, as you were talking about it, I'm like, I totally remember the photos of the broken
Yeah.
blue glass like on a roof.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It
So
was a
funny.
rainy day, and I remember we went like we were climbing on like fire escape ladders just to check the roof. Like it was totally. I mean, I'll be honest. It was. I mean, we were allowed to do it because the security guy somehow we bullshitted away to check his roof, but it was really shady how we
That is a
got in there.
that's a
Yeah,
great
yeah,
story.
yeah.
I love that story. All right.
Sorry.
No, no, no. Don't apologize. That was a fantastic story. I love it. All right, number 3, Michael Cera apparently had a secret baby, and Amy Schumer totally outed him. She was doing an interview on Entertainment Tonight, mentioned that Michael Cera also had a baby, and the world went, "Wait, what?" And so, yeah, Michael Cera has a 6-month-old baby boy, and now the world knows thanks to Amy Schumer opening her mouth.
That's happening a lot lately. People are just kind of, speaking a little too freely. That happened recently
Well,
with Tommy Hilfiger talked about and slipped up and said that Robert Kraft is now engaged. It's like, whoa,
yeah.
like that's
Well, you know what I think you forget, like, when you're around someone, because like, Amy and Michael Cera are promoting a new movie together,
yeah,
and so they're spending a lot of time together, and then you start to forget, like, if it's such a common knowledge thing for you, you forget that the world doesn't know.
yeah. I mean,
You know what I'm
I get it.
saying? Okay.
I get it.
Number 2, Travis Scott working on making his events more safe. I guess he is rolling out a whole initiative called what is it? Project Heal. And so, following that November 5th tragedy from the 2021 Astroworld Festival, he is working on a multi-tier long-term series of community-focused philanthropy and investment efforts. So, obviously he got a ton of heat off of this whole thing, which I think there's certain parts that yes, he needs to make a better, more safer environment. But it was weird how much blame he got.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
I agree
He
with that.
doesn't set up his stages. He doesn't set up his barricades. It's like the dude shows up to perform, and how he got all the blame, I'm still a little confused with.
Well, what do you think? Like, you've seen videos of his concerts. I don't think you're at his concerts, Dax, but you've seen the videos of his concerts.
Wow. What is that? That's profiling right
Of
there.
course, I'm profiling you. I'm definitely. But you've seen the video of his concerts. He, tells the crowd to like pumps up the crowd so much and like.
Yeah, but there's everyone pumps up a crowd. I think the problem is that people were yelling and saying that he didn't stop the show, and I think what is hard to realize is that there's a lot of people and there's a lot of sound. There's someone a part of his team should have ran up on stage quicker and stopped him, because when you're up there, you can't see into a sea of people and understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's so many more people to blame rather than just him. Like anyway, I don't want to get into it. I mean, obviously this has been dissected 100
Sure.
times, but he's trying to make good with all of that. And the number one story, so we can get you out of here because we're closing up on our 20 minutes. Gigi Hadid and Bella Hadid are now donating all of their fashion, sorry, not their fashion, their fashion month earnings or fashion week earnings to Ukraine. So they're saying, look, we make a shit ton of money being models and looking pretty on the runway. This is a really big time for us right now. So we're going to take all that money and give it back to Ukraine in the efforts to, heal this country.
Good for them. Listen, Gigi
Yeah.
Hadid, Bella Hadid using the platform to, do something.
Not just platform and dinero.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's good for them. And Gigi Hadid, by the way, like I don't know if you saw the photos. She's a blonde now, but not just a blonde, like a bleached blonde. So I kind of dig it.
I kind of dig it.
Yeah.
All right, that is your Raw Rundown, catching you up on all things entertainment news. So you're going into the weekend feeling like you are full of information. I mean, it's not important information like we said before. It's just the fun information. It's something to take you away from the death and destruction on TV all the time. I think that's what entertainment does for me. Like, I watch the news and I just get so sad, right? Like, it's just a crappy time in the world, and then it's my little escapism talking about celebs and things a little lighter. So I enjoy it.
I get it. Well, guys, thank you guys for listening, and make sure you check out the podcast. We got some good guests coming up. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. We're on it all. Check out the Hollywood Raw podcast. My name's Adam Glyn. Dax Holt. Follow us on Instagram. See you guys next time.
Guys, hope you liked that video. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that, and we really need the money because we need hair gel.